Hi everyone. Shall we start? From the last time, we already read the data here. So this is our data set now. We have two columns. The first one is duration, and the second one is waiting time. So maybe let's plot it into scatter plot, the one that calls scatter plot. I think you may know the scatter plot already, right? In Python, let me show in Mathematica first. In Mathematica, if you want to read the data set here, you may have to set the working directory first, which this one is the same directory as this notebook located, and you have to import it. Import means read the file, and you can see it here. Two rows, right? In Python, you can use pandas, and with some magical function, you can copy if you plan to using Colab. You just put it to line, and then you read the file. In this file, if let's say if the file is longer than 200, it can be 1 million, something like that. It will not show all of them. It will skip at the middle and show the head of the file at the top here. But if you want to inspect only five rows, you can put the head 5 here. It's okay. It will just show you 5 rows here. Anyway, we just want to plot the scatter plot between the duration here and waiting time. What you have to do is just put the scatter plot of the x and y. In this case, maybe I will put the duration as x and waiting time will be y. But how can we select this one? In pandas, it's simple. You can just put the variable with this one like you did in list. But instead of number 0, 1, 2, 3, you can just put a string here. Now, the data frame, when you select this column, it will turn into a thing called series. This one is called series. This one is not. Can you spot the difference? Well, this one is called data frame. If you have experience on using pandas, you might sometimes use the double bracket like this one. It is similar to put the list of columns like this one. I will put a list of columns like this. And another one is waiting time. This one, it will select 2 columns. You will see that later if we have more than 2 columns. But in this case, let's say that I put only 1 column like this one. It will show you 1 like this one, but it will be in a good format, like as you see here. And you can see here, it has highlighted the even row here, the odd row we have no highlighted like this one, and the name of the data, the column here, can also showed at the top. Sometimes, actually most of the time, I might be so lazy, so I just put it here, omit the first line, so it becomes like this. This is actually the same. It's the way you select the column in pandas. But in this case, we will select only one column. Now it becomes a series. This series will consist of two things, which you will know, which you will explore about it later. The first one is index, which you can see here. This one is index of the first row, of the second row here. And this one is value of that data. In this case, you want to select X and Y. You can just put it here. This one is X. This one is Y. Y is waiting time, right? Let me delete this one and then plot it. Bam! You got the plot of this data set. It will plot between duration here versus waiting time in the y-axis. But as you can see, you plot this one, but the label doesn't show yet. In Mathematica, when you plot it, you can see the label, what it is. Waiting time at the y-axis, duration at the x-axis. In this case, you may have to manually put it. For example, if you want to put some label here, you have to plt.x label and duration like this one. When you run it, the label will appear here, the same as y label. Can you guess which function we can use for to put the waiting time here, the label of this basis? I think you can guess that one. It's simple, right? Just y label, something like this. And this one is just waiting time. So in this case, you will have a complete graph. Also, always when you plot something, please tell maybe if you want to create this graph and send to maybe your supervisor, always put the name of it here. So the leader will know what it is. Okay. Okay. Next is histogram. This one is also useful when you want to count something. Whether the data is continuous or a categorical data set, a categorical data. You can use histogram to show the distribution of that one. In Mathematica, you have to select the column you want to show. In this case, it is duration. And you may have to put the axis label here. What is the name of the data you plot? And then histogram. In Python, we can also do this one. It's quite simple. What you have to do is just put the data set. You have to select it first. For example, in this case, I will use data duration like this one. So I get the series of this data, and then you just put the his. Now it's done. Simple, right? But again, you also have to put the label of this data manually. In this case, well, because we use this way, we cannot get the, actually we get the X here. Maybe let me try that first. We get the X here, and then maybe we can put the Ph.D. X label, and the duration. Then you see, you have this one. Maybe you can change it to Y label. Yes, you get it now. Anyway, you may think you want to, well, you want to change it bin. This binning is not enough for you. What you can do is put the parameter here, like a bin. And maybe we can try with 20. Then you got 20 bin. Yeah. However, we can also do another way. This one, you use the pandas to plot histogram. And let's say you want something, you use something else, not pandas. It might be in different library. You cannot do this one, right? If you want to use the pure matplotlib, another style that you can do is first you just PLT and then his. And you put the data here and run it. Let me change it to waiting time and run it. Bam! Oh, it looks weird, right? You don't want something to look like this. You want the first one to be duration, and the second one will be another another histogram. But now this it is mixing up. Now the actually the concept of matplotlib is like you have canvas like that one, like a whiteboard. You write something on the whiteboard, and then when you want to show it, it will flash anything you write on whiteboard into the screen here. But now you don't tell the matplotlib to flash the first one. So it writes the graph into the same figure like this one. It's not okay. In this case, you have to put the plt.show first to tell it to flush the canvas, the old canvas first. Then plot the new one. Yeah. Now it becomes different figure. But as you can see, if you use PLT, you may have to manually put the like a this grid. You have to manually put it. Anyway, this is a different style that you can use it for plot histogram. Okay. Do you have any question for now? I will continue. So I would like to emphasize that please remember the way you use the histogram here. How can you plot it? This one is important. Histogram, scatter plot, and the line plot. And the rest is up to you. Maybe you can use this one or maybe not using one. It's okay. But at least please remember the way to plot the three graph. Yeah. Okay, let's continue to the another one. Another one is in Mathematica. I have to do some kind of manipulation here. This is the first plot. This is the second plot. In Python, it's quite hard to do that. Well, again, you have to use widget for that. We also, in Python, it can also do this one. Let me show you. If we go to this tutorial, it's actually a link here. You can go to this link and you scroll down here. There is a widget that looks similar to Mathematica. You can click the first graph and the second graph, and what you see, you have to write some code here. So it's not that simple, but it can be done if you want to put some widget in Python. The next thing is 3D histogram now is quite hard again. If you want to put the 3D histogram like this one, you have to calculate the histogram for each dimension, right? And then plot the 3D of it. In Python, okay, in Python, I am also provide the code for you. You don't have to copy it, but I will explain it to you. First of all, you have to use the bar 3D. This one is like a bar chart in 3D. But the way you calculate the histogram, you have to manually do it. So in this section, you this one they try to calculate the 2D histogram. Then we get the histogram at the X and Y position. What you have to do is put the X and Y data to get the Z. Z is the vertical axis, right? Yes, you just put the data here, and you also have to specify the bin. In this case, I put it 8. And the range of the data. Range of the data is actually the min-max of the data set. Which you can see here is a list. The first one is the length of the first variable here. And the second one is the waiting time. It's the length of the second variable here. Moreover, you also have to create a mesh grid of the data set using this function. Then you get X position and Y position. And then at the C position, which is actually, it might be at the floor level. So I put 0 here. And this one, you also have to put the gap between, for example, if you have the first vertical bar here, like this one, you have to put the X position here, and also the width of this bar. So dx is actually the path, the same as dy. Well, you know, the problem is the length of these two variables is different. The first one is about 2.5 to 6, but the second one is in the power of 10, like this one. So the number here should be different from this one. And at the end, we put it together, then we get this one. Anyway, you may not want it to be this angle. You can change it. If you want to change the angle of this graph, you can use the ax dot view in it, like this one. I'm not sure what it is now. I think minus 16 is actually in this way, and for the 10 is in vertical way. Oh, my drawing is very bad. Let's say if we have a sphere like this one is the vertical, right? This one is horizontal. This is horizontal way. This is vertical way. So in this case, I want to point toward 10 degrees from the above, and minus 60 degrees, like this one. Well, actually, let's run it. You can see. See? The thing have changed. If we don't put this line, it will be in default position, like this one. But when you put it down, it will be in different angle. You can try different angle. You can try to play with it. But I think the shader of this one, shader is the way that Python interpret this figure. Whether this side should be in shadow or not, it is shader. I think shader of this one is quite weird. I don't know. If you play with it, you will see it. See? I don't know what happened to this one. If this bar is look quite like it look like it's floating from the ground. I don't know what happened, but this is about the shader. But anyway, you can do that in Python as well with this code. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing. One thing that you must also tell it, that is, you must tell that the figure of this one will be in 3D. Okay. Well, if you want to make this kind of graph, you can go Google, search for 3D histogram. Let's do it now. 3D histogram. You will see this example. It looks similar to mine, right? Yes, you can just Google it and copy the code, but you still have to understand what it does. You have to adjust it. Anyway, but in Mathematica, you can just put like this, one line of code. It's simple, right? Another one is smooth histogram 3D, like this one. Well, in this case, I have no idea. So instead of putting this one, I will reuse the information from here. This one, the height of the bar chart and the position here. And then I use this graph 3D mesh like this one to plot a smooth version of histogram of that histogram. It will look like this one. So it's not that smooth, but okay, it's maybe, I don't know. If you want it to be, I don't know, maybe smoother, maybe you can put it maybe 32 pin. Let's try. Let's hope it not crash. 32 pin. Oh, it's not smooth. Anyway, you may have to smooth it first and then plot it. Okay, and for the last one, it's just interactive control over the one that I have shown to you before, like the scatter plot here, histogram 3D, and smooth histogram 3D like this one. Anyway, you can go back to the topic number 7 to see the tutorial for that one. Now, I think it's a time for a little bit of data manipulation and descriptive analytics. Okay, if you want to run this one, please be sure that you have put data in the folder, the same, maybe not the same folder, but you must have your data set in your Google Drive. The one we are going to use is this file name, datasets, Old Faithful, and Dirty Old Faithful, which you will know later that what it is. Now, we are going to read the file, this file first, dataset.xlsx, which is in Excel format. At the first time, we read the data in CSV format, right? In this format. We can also use pandas to read another format. It can be Excel file. It can be in, well, in your clipboard of your computer. When you go to the, for example, this one, you copy this one, copy this table. It will be in your clipboard. And then we can also read from your clipboard using pandas. It can be from anything, but in this case, let me copy this one because I cannot remember the path of the file. And then just change it to Excel because this dataset is in Excel file, is in Excel format. So we have to change it first and run it. Excel. Oh, okay, misspelling. Anyway, after reading the file here, you will see the data here that look like this. Now we are going to check its type because this one is in number, right? But well, maybe it's not. We're not sure yet. So to check the data type, normally in Python we do this one, right? The type of the data. Now you will see this one. But for this one, if you select one of them, it will be silly and you won't know what it is. Well, actually, to check its type, you have to type this one, the type, without bracket. See, the first one is in float, which is the number, right? The second one is object. I don't know what it is. It can be object of something, object of number, object of string. And this one is in float, in number, right? So now we know the type of the data set. In the real life data set, maybe you see the data in numerical data set. Go up, okay. This one in numerical data. Normally the pandas should automatically change the data type for you when you read it. But sometimes there is something particularly put in this dataset, in this field, like a dash, like a string of something. So it cannot convert to numerical data. And it will be a problem for you later. That's why you have to check the data type first. Do you guys have problem with the part? I think your part will be different from mine. If you have a problem, feel free to ask me. Don't worry. Well, the critical part is this one. You don't have to copy this one. It's okay. You can put the data here to check, to see the look and feel of this one, of this data set. Well, it's your name, right? It's your name here. So maybe you will have something to do with this one later. You will know that. It is okay. I will continue to the next cell. Okay. And this is the data type I have shown you already. Actually, normally when you are working with something that the data that contain ID like this one, is your student ID, right? It shouldn't be in number format. It should be in string format. So I think it's not okay to it's okay to put in numerical data. It's fine. But my recommend is you should turn this ID to string first. To change data type, you can use this way. You just have to select the data type first in series. This one is series, right? And then you convert it using as type string like this one. And when you run it, it will turn into string. Simple, eh? Anyway, I don't want this. I don't want point zero because at first it's floating point. All I want is just your number here. Maybe you can turn it into integer first, like this way, and then turn into string. Well then, it turned into string now without point zero at the end. Well, actually, I don't think this is efficient way to do that. There is another way. You can use this way. You turn it into string first and cut it to digit out. In this way, it's similar to when you write Python code like this one, and let's say if this is A, and you select it with -2. So the two part here will be gone. In this case, you can do something similarly. What you have to do is put .str when you want to do something with string using string function. You just put .str first, and then you slide it like this one, and bam, the point zero is gone. And I think this one is maybe better way. But anyway, you can use the first one. It's quite fast using Panda to do data manipulation. You can use any way you want. Okay, now I think the ID should be turned into string already. Wait, what? It's not ready. Well, because in pandas, if you change something, it will change in the copy. It will change in the copy of the data set. It not change in the original of the data. For example, this is the original of data of this data set. If you do something like this one, it will not change the original. You have to assign it back. So in case that you want to assign back, you just do it. So be careful. Please always assign something that you change back to its original data. Now the original data is changed. You got that one right? Okay. In this case, we have the column 1, which is student ID in string. Column 3 is already a string, so we don't have to turn it into something else. And the data set number, maybe 1, 2, 3. I think I want it to be in integer. I don't want it to be in float. We can do the same as I did before. Well, you can copy it. This one. Oh, okay. Now, if it's in integer, you may not believe me. Okay, you can use the command type. It's okay. See, the first column is in object. Actually, object means string. Integer is integer. Float is float. Okay. Okay. And later we will going to well do something else. Maybe we might try to split the family name and the first name. Yes, we can do that. I think it's a time you can have a 10-minute break. Let's go back to here at 13.